back on home territory. Previous few videos you've seen from me have been up in Scotland and kind of around the Cairngorms National Park. I think all of them in Cairngorms National Park, maybe one or two a little bit further afield, but mostly up in the Highlands. But I'm back home, and I'm literally about 5 minutes from the house. I've just driven down, took me 5 minutes. I'm on the banks of the Dee Estuary, a place called Caldy, and at the moment it's raining quite heavily, but I've been paying attention to the weather forecast, and I think that's going to blow over quite quickly. It's absolutely blowing a gale, so hopefully those clouds will move over quite quickly. And one of the things I always do is I pay attention to the tide times and I pay attention to sunset times, and as it happens, both sunset and high tide today are about 5 minutes each side of each other, so sunset will be just after we've hit high tide. So what I'm hoping to do is go down, there's a few steps down here to the side of the estuary, go down onto the little bit of beach and rocks that's still exposed. The tide's quite high, so there's not much sand available. But what I'm hoping to do is get a few shots down towards the setting sun and the mouth of the estuary. So I'm looking across to North Wales, across the estuary, but the sun will set in kind of the mouth of the estuary. It does at this time of year, so I'm hoping that turns out quite well. It is blowing quite a strong wind, and I have had some trouble with wind. Not that sort of wind. So I've had some trouble with wind noise, if I'm more precise, because it blows across the microphone on this GoPro. So what I've done, I've spent about 59p on a bunch of these from Amazon, and are those the kind of the microphone covers that you see on kind of news reports. So what I'm going to try and do is stick that over the microphone. This GoPro's got a microphone at the front and the back, so I'm going to stick this over and see if it reduces the wind noise. If not, it's going to be really hard to record anything, because all you'll hear, I tried to record something the other day down on the bank of the Mersey, but when I got home and looked at the video, all you could hear was the wind blowing. Probably all you can hear at the moment is that rain falling, but it's going to clear up, I'm confident, and just going to get ready when this rain clears away and hopefully take some photos. Well, I've put the lens cover on, so I hope this works, although sound of the sea crashing against the shore might be quite a distraction as well, so hopefully you can hear me. So as you can see, I was right, the rain has cleared over, and what we're getting now is a wonderful, wonderful sunset. I put my wellies on because I'm actually stood in the tide line, and fantastic light there, look at that. So we've got some boats on the horizon, a few old pieces of wood. I think it was an old dock or something, and then North Wales and a bit of rain falling. So I'm working on this. I'm just going to take a few shots and I'll come back to you. Quite a bit of drama in that sky, isn't there? It's kind of a tobacco colour, I guess, although that probably doesn't do it justice, but it's the best description I could come up with. It's clearly, there's a big contrast here between the colour of the sky and then the colour of the sea. Sorry, I'm just going to clean that. I'm not sure whether that's rain or water. It's a big contrast. So I've just dropped in a graduated filter, and the graduated filter is essentially the top half is dark and the bottom half is light, and it allows you to drop it down to the horizon, so you can then have a balanced image. And in this particular circumstance, obviously, that is very bright and that is quite dark, so I've set the line exactly on the horizon because it's a really clear line of demarcation, and hopefully when that comes out it's allowed me to take a good image. I'll actually, these are some cheap plastic ones that I got sent to test, so not sure how good they're going to be, but it's worth a try, and I'll let you know how they go on. Sun's gone down, but it's not time to pack up, because you often find just after the sun's gone down you get the best colour in the sky. So always wait, you know, I quite often see people taking photos, they see the sun go down, they pack the stuff up and go home. But if you hang around half an hour, 45 minutes after the sun's gone down, you often get actually the best photos then. So at the moment it's not great. Just before the sun went down, really dramatic colours in those clouds, and I hope they've come out well because it'll look good. Sorry that I've been using that to clear my lens, just to keep the water off. Got some really dramatic effects in the clouds, so I'm hoping that works out well. But what I'm hoping now is the sun's gone down, it's just over the horizon, and it shines up on the clouds in the background. So keep your fingers crossed that happens. So it's turning into a bit of a battle with the rain. Clouds are scudding over really, really quickly, and one minute it's clear, the next minute it's belting it down. So at the moment I'm getting a little bit wet, my camera's getting a bit wet, but I'm hoping in a few seconds this will clear over, and there's actually some quite nice light in the sky, but I can't take anything at the moment because the rain's hitting the front of the lens. I'm facing into the wind, so the rain is hitting the lens, so there's nothing I can do. If it's one or two spots, you can clean that up in Photoshop afterwards, but at the moment it's a bit of a deluge. Got to be patient, wait to see what happens. Oh, that got a bit hairy then. Rain seems to be coming out of nowhere. There didn't seem to be any clouds above me, but it was absolutely throwing it down, and I'm soaked to the skin. What little hair I've got left is soaked, but it was worth the wait because I've got some lovely colour in the sky now. It's that lovely cloud formation on the horizon, some lovely golden colours, tints in the sky. So I did think about legging it back to the car when the rain was coming down because it wasn't very pleasant, but I'm glad I stayed. I am a bit cold, but it's all good fun, and hopefully the photos will turn out well. So keep tuned, stay tuned, see how they go. So when I'm working on landscapes, I'm normally on about f16, between f13 and f16. That's usually good enough for landscape work. But what I've just done, I've gone to f22, so that, you know, that really closes down the aperture. But what I'm trying to do is get the movement of the wave. So I've got a neutral density filter in, which is just where the graduated filter is dark at the top and light at the bottom. Neutral density filter is just all one colour. This one happens to be all dark, but I've then gone to f22, so I'll get the slowest shutter speed I possibly can, because what I'm trying to do is get some movement in those waves. So rather than catching the waves as individuals, what I'm hoping we'll get is a blurred sea, and it might be a nice effect. Sometimes it works nicely, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm trying that to see how it comes out. Gives me the opportunity because the light's dropped as well, so see how those work. I'm hoping, I've looked on the back of the camera, they look all right, but we'll see when we get back and process them. Well, I've now got an 8-second exposure, which is plenty to get movement in those waves. The challenge is pressing the shutter button will move the camera, and for an 8-second exposure that can be quite a lot of movement. So if you haven't got a shutter release, what you can do is, most cameras have a facility where you can use a countdown timer. So use the countdown timer, press the shutter button, don't touch the camera, and then wait for the shutter to shoot. And that way you won't be affecting the camera by shaking it, by touching it. Just a hint in case you haven't got one of those shutter releases. I'm going to call it a day now. So the night's probably past its best. But I think I've got some decent shots. There was a lot of drama in the sky just as the sun was going down. And I've looked on the back of the camera and I've got my fingers crossed because one of them looks like a Bobby Dazzler. What am I, 70? But it looks like a really good shot, so I'm hoping when I get back and process that, everything's sharp. And also, after the sun's gone down, I've got some hopefully good ones of the waves in the background. So that's going to be the end from here. But I just thought, I didn't tell you actually where I was. I said I was in Caldy, but this is the Dee Estuary. Over my shoulder, that's North Wales. So you can see, you know, if I was a strong swimmer and it was Mediterranean temperatures, I could probably swim across to North Wales. I spend a lot of time in North Wales, so there'll be some videos coming up of me in North Wales. That's the mouth of the estuary, Hilbury Island in the distance. I'll do a video from Hilbury Island at some point. And then up the estuary is heading towards Chester, and obviously behind me is then the Wirral. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I seriously do hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope I'm not talking to myself. If you have enjoyed it, click the thumbs up button for me, do me a favour, leave a comment, tell your friends about it, hopefully, and we'll get more followers, because it'd be great to know that more people were watching and these are being used. So really appreciate that you've watched, hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the images that I'll add into the video at the end.